Namaste, this is Dr. Aisha Butalia. I welcome you all for today's session. And our today's topic is that in an IEEE paper, how to write the literature survey section. So as discussed in our earlier presentation, basically the literature survey section can be the second part of your introduction over here. If you can see over here, there is an LS, this is literature survey. So you can add some portion in the introduction section. If the literature survey, you have to highlight it as less and it's a short paper and you need to more highlight on your research work. Okay, so in an introduction, there are three paragraphs can be there. First can be general introduction about the title, the problem and its scope. Okay, second paragraph can be the literature survey, and third paragraph can be the outline of the paper. But if you think that you want literature survey as a separate section, so it can be after the introduction, as you can see here, you can write the literature survey section as a different section itself. Then you need not write it in the introduction, or maybe some primarily 5 lines as written here. Okay, you can put it in the introduction and you can have the entire section differently. Okay, so now let's see how this section 2, that is literature survey of the research paper, what should be the contents. So as per the IEEE format, it should be 12 point regular Times New Roman. Okay, but as per the contents are concerned, it should include methodology used for it in the direction of problem statement and title. Now, what does this mean? So, to be very simple, whatever problem statement you have decided, for example, facial emotion recognition system. So, you need to recognize emotions through the facial expressions, right? So, you would be seeing that what algorithms people have used to identify this problem and how they have solved this problem if this problem is done earlier by other researchers. In case it's of type 2, we have discussed this, what is type 1 and type 2 problem in our previous presentations. Type 1 is that when your problem statement is not unique, okay, but you try to find a unique solution to it. This is type 1. Type 2 is that your problem statement is unique, but probably you are trying to use some existing approach to solve your novel problem statement. Type 3 is that your problem statement is also unique and your solution is also totally unique. Okay, so when it comes to type 2 problem or type 1 problem or type 3 problem, any type of problem, when you define a problem statement clearly, you need to first understand whether people have done what work onto it, how successful they were. And when you get the drawbacks of the paper, of the work, then you try to recover it in your work rather, if it's a type 1 approach. Okay, otherwise there is no point in defining the problem statement which was already solved by some another researcher. So you are trying to propose some different or a better solution. For that you should first understand what were the previous solutions were, and that is literature survey. Okay, there is a difference between research and innovation. This also we took in our previous presentation. Just a brief, that research is that we already try to find out, okay, what has been done, and innovation is something new. So when you try to file a patent, you try to say that my idea is totally novel. But even though you are doing innovation or that the outcome is your patent, you should do the research. So research is a compulsory part of any innovation also. And research means, the major part of research is nothing but literature survey. So as you say dictionary meaning, literature means what is already there, and survey, you try to dig out the findings of already work done. Okay, so basically the importance of literature survey is that it distinguishes what has been done for what needs to be done, discover important variables relevant to the topic, synthesizing and gaining a new perspective, okay, to that problem statement, identifying relationships between ideas and practice, establishing the context of the topic or a problem statement, rationalizing the significance of the problem, establishing the context of the topic or problem, rationalizing the significance of the problem, enhancing and acquiring the subject vocabulary, understanding the structure of the subject, relating ideas and theory to applications, identifying the main methodologies and research techniques that have been used, and placing the research in an historical context to show familiarity with state-of-the-art developments. So basically, it is to compare what research has already been done and what you are trying to propose, right? So what you can do, in every paper there is a conclusion. Okay, there are sometimes limitations are also given, and even future scope is given. So this is a very good idea where, you know, immediately when you see the abstract, you understand that whether I have a scope in this particular paper. When you go, in spite of just understanding the entire paper, which takes a lot of time, what you go, just go to the end, see the conclusion, see the limitations, see the future scope. So future scope probably gives you the loopholes, what you can take it. The limitations can also be the loopholes, and future scope can be the problem statement for the new researchers. Okay, so this is a very good way how you can even identify your problem, and even you can understand what can be better done to the existing system. So this is a very big hint to the new researchers who are struggling with the problem statements. So going ahead, you have to define the methodology used for the direction of the. So if your problem statement is identifying the emotions through facial expressions, so you have to search that whether SVM can be used as a classifier, or maybe any machine learning algorithm, or maybe any data mining or artificial intelligence, or any type of expert system which tries to identify some image processing algorithms, or even as in one of my papers, I have utilized the rough fuzzy approach for classifying the images. So whatever methodology you use, you have to find the similar problem using different methodologies. So some methodology used for another problem can be important in our proposal system. So in type 2 of problem, okay, in type 2, your idea is innovative, but you can find some related work, or you can study some algorithms which are capable of finding the similar patterns which are useful for your problem statement. So this you have to highlight basically in your literature survey. So what you can do, see, in a normal short paper, you are expected 35 papers around. So every paper you can identify one paragraph gist of the entire paper, and you can note it down in your own words, one paragraph, what was useful in the entire paper which was related to your work. Okay, but for example, if it's a short paper and you need to write say 2 paragraphs in a section, then you can highlight the 10 papers which are very, very useful in your project, with the supporting 15 papers ahead in the reference section. But if 5 paper of a group, okay, so at least each paper 2 lines for each literature survey needed to be added in your paper. Okay, so for example, there are 5 papers and you say 2 lines each. If you try to gather related to your topic, you will have 10 lines. Okay, so that means for one paragraph, you can take 10 papers. Even you can do 4 lines per paper, and then probably you can have a paragraph of 5 papers literature survey, 10 lines, one paragraph. You can have another paragraph of 5 papers with 4 lines each. So it can be a bigger paragraph. Similarly, you can create like that. So the more research paper you explore, the more you will go to the exact solution of the problem statement, what exactly you need to do, because 50% problem is solved when you understand what you need to do in your problem statement and how you need to achieve. And these all solutions would generally come mostly through literature survey section. If you can write the entire literature survey paper, in that probably you do not have a separate literature survey section. The entire paper is a survey paper. So all the 35 papers, even if one paper you take 10 lines of your own, try to find out the related issues of your paper with that paper. So even 10 lines per paper, so you can understand 35 papers will go to 3,500 words, and it becomes a short paper in any case. This table is not compulsory, but I always recommend, because this you will try to be easy to evaluate yourself how to go ahead. So you can say that this is my problem statement. In fact, this is the problem statement of that paper. Okay, what methodology that person has used or that researcher has used, what is the drawback in that methodology on that problem statement, and how does it relate to your problem statement. Similarly, you can have n number of columns and rows, probably rows in this table. Okay, and the more the number of rows, the more is you are going deeper into your literature survey. But mind well, even if you have 350 research papers as a PhD project, okay, then to your top 10 papers would be the paper you need to grab again and again. Okay, so probably at least you should have 10 rows in this table to evaluate that you are on the right path. That is a sufficient literature survey. So this is all about literature survey. If you have any doubts, okay, you can mail me on the email ID given in the Dropbox, okay, in the description box, or any queries, you can just write to me. Even if you have any issue identifying your problem statement or maybe method, okay, I'll try to help you out with some references. Thank you very much. This is Dr. Aisha Butalia, and we discussed about how to write the literature survey section in our IEEE paper or any research paper. This can be used by any researcher or any student who is trying to express his or her research with the help of research paper. These guidelines are also useful for writing your report in case of your school project or UG project or PG project or even PhD project. The research methodology is always the same. Literature survey contents would always be the points which we discussed today. Thank you very much for the patience listening.